So we got the spooky lighting now because we watched a horror thriller movie. Thriller? I don't know. That's a thriller. It was a thriller movie, but we got spooky lighting because it was on the horror side of things, I guess. So if you've seen my reviews before, you know that before I was wearing my entire Zay costume and everything, but I'm trying something a little different because this time I'm not scripting it. I'm just going to talk about the movie and then we're going to see where it goes. I don't know. I just want to talk about it. And this movie, let me tell you something. Come here. Let me tell you something. This literally was the worst movie I've seen all year. And I watched War of the Worlds, by the way. I watched that movie twice, by the way, because I watched it the first time and I was like, man, this movie freaking sucks. And if you've seen I did a video recently on War of the Worlds, basically like it was a parody. I would call it a parody, like a summary parody kind of thing of what War of the Worlds was basically like, but whatever. That movie is really bad, egregious. Everybody agrees that movie is probably the worst movie of the year, except for me, because this movie was terrible. All right, now don't get me wrong, War of the Worlds is definitely garbage, okay, but look, at least I got to laugh at that movie. I was struggling to stay awake during this freaking movie, bro. So any of my Game of Thrones fans that were super excited to see Sophie Turner do something else that was gonna be a little more unique and different from Sansa Stark, guess what? Her character literally does not get better from Sansa Stark to whatever her name was in this movie because she's just so forgettable, along with the entirety of this freaking movie, okay? I cannot begin to express to you how much I hated this movie, but this is gonna be kind of a review, kind of a talking about the video thing. We're trying a different style of review here, all right? We're gonna talk about it, all right? So as usual, I'm gonna try not to spoil the movie, I guess. I don't know. You know what? No. F that. I'm gonna spoil this movie because it's not worth watching. I don't want anybody to have to go, just like Hurry Up Tomorrow. I don't want anybody to go watch this movie. This movie freaking sucks, okay? So the movie is just, it's basically about a woman that's like a big celebrity or whatever, and she's like on a show, like a TV show, like kind of like a Full House style show with like a bunch of like these kids, and she's like the main, like, she starts when she's a kid, right? She's like a little kid at the beginning of the movie, and she does an audition, and she gets the part, and then she grows up to be Sophie Turner. And she's this big celebrity that everybody knows, but at the very start of the movie, there's like leaks of her nudes and like a pregnancy test. Some douchebag, you know, F the world, right? Some douchebag shared all of this stuff and leaked it, and now everybody knows that this woman is pregnant. And now the pressure's too much for her. She can't take it. She doesn't know what to do with this. All this leak. She took a picture of it. She sent it to somebody, and somehow it got leaked by I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, she's pregnant with somebody. This is not fake news. It's real news that got shared around. She's pregnant with the baby of like the dad character on the show, who's like, I don't know, like 40 years older than her, I'm thinking, in the show. And it's kind of icky because it's like, what's going on? But like, they have like a consensual relationship going on, I guess. It's not like there wasn't, you know, the dreaded word that I don't want to say. That didn't happen. It was completely consensual sex where it happened, and they just got the baby and their very unfortunate circumstances. I don't know, whatever. That's how this movie starts. And then so she's like, oh, it's too much for my brain. I need to go. I need to leave. So they send her off to an Airbnb in like West Bumblefuck. I don't know. It's just in some random location. And she's like, I'm going to stay here for a week and let things die down. Okay. I mean, this is not, the plot of the movie doesn't sound that bad yet. And it's, I guess it's not, but it's just not interesting to watch. But it's not that bad yet. But it gets worse, so much worse. It just falls apart. It falls apart like horrendously bad. So like while she's gone, the husband, or well, he's not a husband, he's like the baby daddy. We'll call him the baby daddy. He's like super upset about this whole baby situation. He calls her and he's like, hey yo, baby girl, listen. We need to talk about what we're doing about this baby. You know, we could abort the child and then we could pretend the baby never even happened. I got people up in the sky that'll basically make this look like nothing happened and it was all fake news and whatever. And Sophie's like, I can't deal with this right now. I'm supposed to be on vacation. Blink, and she hangs up the phone and that's it. And that dude's like, oh, and he's super pissed off about it. You know, he's like upset. He's like irritated. He's like, I can't believe she would do this to me. But she's gonna be ruining our reputation, my reputation. And then he talks to this guy that's like, oh no, it's just like it's a black dude. It's just like this black guy who's like, I don't know what his role is. He's like the bodyguard type guy. I don't know, but he's like talking to this dude, and the guy's like, well, you know, she could potentially get you know, die from like an overdose or something, like implying that he could just go and like kill her but make it look like an accident. So this dude is like going off to, he hires this guy basically to go kill her, I guess. Like, do you see, I don't know if you can tell, but this movie already feels like it's a jumbled mess, but like whatever. Man, I feel like I'm making this movie sound better than it is because of all the different plot points, but trust me, it's really fucking boring. It's really boring. Anyway, she's at the house, like she's at the house chilling by herself. They actually, her best friend or whatever, I don't remember the role of it. No, it was like her manager, I guess, told her not to hook up to the Wi-Fi because she didn't want her to see all the freaking social media about this crap and whatever. Sophie doesn't listen. I'm calling her Sophie because I don't remember her name in the movie. She's Sophie Turner, the Game of Thrones, Sansa Stark. We're gonna call her Sansa. Why not? So Sansa goes on the Wi-Fi and sees all this stuff, and that's how she got the phone call in the first place, and then got all the notifications. She's like, oh god, oh my god, what do I do? And she's here with, like I think I said this, she's with a dog. His name is I don't remember what the dog's name is. The only thing I remember about the dog that was really annoying is for whatever reason the characters keep saying he in some situations and she in others. Like, is the dog non-binary? Like, why is the dog identifying as he or she like they? Like, listen, I got no beef with non-binary people in general. What is the dog? Can we establish that the dog is non-binary, bro? Because why is it he and she? I don't understand. It was a little confusing. But yeah, she has a dog with her, and like basically while she's here chilling with her dog, like I don't know, there's like these people that own the Airbnb, like one of the dudes that owns the Airbnb, he's just chilling in his house and he's like on his cameras and he's like, oh shit, is that Sansa Stark? What? And he's like, you know, he's a normal guy, I guess. He's not really a bad guy. He's just looking at the guy. He realizes who it is and he's like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. But like his uncle and like his like brother or cousin or whatever are like criminals, and they're like, yo, we need money now, what do we do? And they were like, how is your business going on with the Airbnbs? And he's like, I mean, I guess it's doing okay. It's doing all right, you know, it's none of your business. But then they find out that this woman is staying there, and they're like, oh, what if we rob this woman and don't tell him? I'm not sure what they plan to rob her from. Like, she didn't move into the place. She just kind of went there on a vacation. Like, she didn't pack all of her expensive items. And when they go to rob the place, it's like they're just stealing stuff that is already in the house. They're not stealing stuff that she owns. It doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't know. But regardless, they decide that they're going to go and rob the place. So they go over there and they go rob the place. And when they go over there, Sansa hides in the bathroom when she hears them come in. And I should say that the guy that owns the Airbnb, he's not there. He's not there right now. You know what I'm saying? He's behind. He stayed back. He was knocked the hell out on the couch, and they took his stuff and dipped. And he just like, where's my phone? Where's my phone? And they sneak into the place without him. Now, when they get there, they find Sansa in the bathroom and like, hey, because she hides. I think I said this. She's hiding in the bathroom, and they're like, hey, we're gonna steal all your stuff. Blah, 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 blah. But I don't know. They're harassing her for some reason. They could just grab all the shit and leave. But for whatever reason, they're harassing her. And then like they try to break into the room, and the doorknob breaks on their side for whatever reason. And then the other guy comes in finally, like the dude that was knocked out that owns the Airbnb. He comes in, he's like, why are you guys here? And they get in a little kerfuffle, and basically what happens is somebody gets fucking shot. Like he gets shot in the stomach. He gets shot, and he's like bleeding out on the bed, and he's like, oh god, what's going on? And while he's dying on the bed, they decide, oh, we gotta kill him now. So they shoot him in the head. So one of the three main like antagonists of this movie is like already dead, like just dealt with. I mean, obviously he's not like an antagonist, but like he's dead. Like for whatever reason, he's they don't have any antagonists in this movie, like real ones. You're gonna learn as I describe this movie along this video that they just keep like taking each other out and don't have any real threat to Sansa Stark at all. They're just dying. So yeah, that guy, you know, gets shot in the head, dies, and then they're like, oh my god, we killed him. Why did we kill him? This is so messed up, blah, 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 blah. And then they just leave after that. I don't know. They realize what they did and they leave for some reason. I don't know. They don't rob anything. I mean, they leave because I guess they killed somebody and they didn't plan to. I'm probably making some stuff that don't sound right and is not right because I just genuinely don't remember this movie that well. It was so fucking boring. But like, they leave. They just leave her, and the dog like gets out of the house with like a messed up leg. I forget how it got hurt, but its leg is hurt, so it limps the hell out of the house. And now Sophie Turner, Sansa Stark, she's stuck in the bathroom with the door handle broken. So now she tries to leave, and the door goes clink, and her handle breaks, and she's like, ah! And she shoulder charges the door and doesn't work, and then she kicks the door and almost breaks her toe. So she's like, ah, I'm not doing this anymore. And she just sits down. And you know, this is why this movie sucks so much. So for the rest of the movie, pretty much, she's just like sitting around. she's just in the bathroom. Like the whole movie, she's in the bathroom from this point on. Like the whole thing I just described to you was like the first like 30 minutes of the movie, and the other hour she's just in this bathroom the whole time, which could be interesting if they really dive into her psyche and like make it really like you see her losing her mind as she tries to figure out how to get out of this room. But there's no like clever ways that she tries to get out, and there's no real degradation of her psyche. Like there's no evolution of it. It's just kind of like randomly she starts saying stuff to herself like she's already crazy. Like it's like this. It just like she just starts doing stuff. She's like looking up at a light that for whatever reason she has to keep flicking with her hand above her head. It's like a light bulb. Like there's a little tug thing on it, you know, but she's like flicking bink, and it turns back on and it keeps going in and out, and she's just like, this damn light, I'm gonna talk to you one day. And I'm like, why is she, what is, how did we get here? how did we get to this point? But she's like the whole movie, she's just like stuck in there. Like I could tell you all the things that she does in the movie for the whole hour, and it's just gonna sound like it shouldn't be that long. She like, first of all, she fucks with that light for a while. At some point she gets like scared when she falls asleep. She falls asleep a lot in this little bathroom. I don't know, it's like a bathroom. She falls asleep a lot in it, and she wakes up at some point and there's like a rat, and she freaks out and she gets scared, and then she like murders it with a pipe out of nowhere. Like she's like scared of it, and then at some point she's like crazy and she's like and obliterates the rat. Now I should say this isn't a cabin in the woods. Like this isn't just like a random cabin in the woods. This is like an entire like, I don't know, rich people Airbnb. But like for whatever reason in this bathroom she keeps looking for, like, you know, the cliche, like there's a hollow part of the wall and they break through it. She finds like 8 different hollow points in this expensive wall. Like who constructed this? What person constructed this weak ass building? Like it's literally, it looks so freaking strong from the outside. Like it looks like a rich person building, but like for whatever reason she keeps finding parts of the wall and she's like and she just freaking rams through it and just leaves a bunch of holes in the wall all the time. It's like, it's actually insane. And every time she breaks one, there's like a problem. Like one side there's like, she breaks through, it's like bricks. The other side is like wood. The other side there's like something else, and it's like, regardless, she does this like 4 times across like different moments in the movie. She does this like 4 times and it never works, so it gets super old. The watchers just keep breaking through walls and just lose to the house just not being as bad as she thought it was. Like it's really dumb and it's really boring to watch. Oh yeah, there's like a part where like there's a pipe above her and like it starts like leaking, and she's like she's trying to like drink the little sips of water, and it just, I mean, it doesn't provide her enough sustenance, I guess. Obviously, I mean, she's just stuck in a bathroom and there's just drippage of water. But at some point at the end of the movie, and yes, I mean it, I'm just skipping ahead because nothing happens, at least to her, for a long ass time. Like she's just in there. She's like, the pipe breaks and like water starts flooding in, and there's this point where they keep showing like this, like there's like a circuit that's open, so you keep seeing sparks on the side of the room, and it's like implying that if the water gets too high she'll get shocked. But they just start to ignore that part for some reason at some point and just make it a thing where, oh my god, she might drown. Like, I don't know, at some point it's like literally keep cutting back to like, oh my god, she might get shocked, and then the water keeps rising up, and at some point it just keeps going and they just focus on her drowning by the water. And I'm just like, okay, what happened to the electricity though that you've been cutting to over and over to make it seem like she was in danger? I don't know, bro. I don't know. All I know is I had been sitting there watching her knock on doors and bang on walls for 45 minutes, and I was so tuned out of it. And like a lot of this movie feels like it's supposed to be some kind of like parody, like you're not supposed to take it seriously, but like it takes itself super seriously, so you're just like upset the whole time. Like it just doesn't, it feels like it's supposed to be a comedy, but there's nothing funny. Like they just dove to the, I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, so like I said, she ends up, the whole thing, like she's like, the water starts rising, so she has to like, she tries to break the hinges off the door for the first time after like 2-3 days. I don't know why it took her so long to try this. I don't know where she got a hammer from, because she has a hammer in there all of a sudden in like a bathroom. Like maybe it was in a bathroom, I really don't remember, but either way, I don't know where she got the tools from. But she breaks the hinges off the door, and at some point she literally, like, you know, she drowns and falls through the door out of the room at the very end, and she gets out. Like, but I gotta backtrack a little bit so I can talk about the stuff that's stupid. I should say this before I forget. The cinematography in this movie isn't even interesting. Like at least with Hurry Up Tomorrow, the cinematography, though it was like, holy crap, a lot of that time it was spinning, making you want to throw up. At least the lighting and stuff was like interesting sometimes. No, this movie's flat. It's so flat. There's like nothing to, like enjoy about the cinematography at all. All the dialogue feels like it's just there. Like there's nothing important at all. Like there's even points where the characters have no development, so it's like a waste of time. Like it doesn't make sense. Like it's just like you don't get attached to any of the characters whatsoever. Especially like there's a character you're sitting with for an hour of the runtime and you just don't care about her because all she does is say crazy things to herself or like be a bitch. I'm not gonna lie, she's just annoying. She's really annoying. Or she just complain all the time and then act crazy. That's all she does. And nothing else. But anyway, I gotta backtrack a little bit so we can like actually explain how we get to the end of this dumbass movie, bro, because it's so dumb and it's so boring. So basically, I told you there was like a hitman. So like that guy is gonna come through at some point. But before that, for whatever reason, these guys that robbed the place initially, like, come back. It feels like Scooby-Doo. Like they just keep coming back and get their plans foiled and they just leave. But like they come back again and they decide that they need to kill Sansa Stark. So they shoot the door, and for whatever reason, this random door leading to like a bathroom attic thing is bulletproof. So they shoot it 3-4 times and the bullets like ricochet all over the place, and like one of them just catches one of the goons in the head, so he just dies. So the trend you're seeing with the main villains of this movie is they just kill themselves. Sansa Stark never has to deal with the threat that is supposed to be the entire driving plot of this movie. They kill themselves twice. There's 3 goons. 2 of them die from their own fault. Like they just die. And the other one, he shoots himself in the leg, you know? So like, you know, he has to go to the hospital for like, I don't know, 15 minutes of the runtime. He just goes to the hospital and they know he's a suspect in other things. They know he's a criminal. So he's arrested with handcuffs on the bed, but for whatever reason, a doctor walks up and he's like, hey, yo, I really need to pee in this. A doctor that's not his doctor, by the way, it's just a random nurse, walks up to him after he asks, hey, I have to pee. Can you let me go? And he just walks up and lets him out. And so, you know, they just cut to him walking out of the hospital with the doctor gear on, and he just leaves. And that's it. He just leaves. He just fucking leaves. He just walks out like it's just that easy. You know, a bullet in his body and everything. But this movie pissed me off. All right. But, you know, now we get to, like, the climax. Oh, my God, I almost forgot. I got to talk about the dog. Okay, yes, I mentioned it a long time ago, if you remember. The dog, all right? The dog left and he had a little limpy limp, you know what I'm saying? So a random person finds the dog that happens to, like, really like taking dogs that are strays to the vet. And she finds the dog. She lets the dog in. She brings the dog to the vet. They realize... Well, no, let me backtrack. They bring the dog, they heal the dog. They're like, hey, yo, we got to figure out whose dog this is. So she takes a picture of the dog and puts it on her Instagram, which probably has like 20 followers or something. She's like an older lady, bro. She's not known on Instagram as what I'm getting at. But she posts this picture, and for whatever reason, when she goes to her normal supermarket job, her phone starts blinging. And she has to go on. She goes to the bathroom and checks, and she got 8,000 likes. Bro, if I posted a picture of me with, I don't know, Will Smith, right? If I posted a picture of me with Will Smith, or just like Will Smith's lost dog. Does he have a dog? I don't know. If he does, I'd take a picture of Will Smith's lost dog and just put it on Instagram right now. The algorithm isn't just going to make everybody that knows Will Smith's dog see my page and just get me 8,000 likes and like 3,000 comments. Like, that's not how it works. I was just sitting here like, yo, the movie is just deciding to movie for no reason, because like that's probably a nitpick, but it made no sense. I'm like, why did she suddenly, this random nobody, get 8,000 likes on a picture of a dog that how did they know for sure it was Sansa Stark's dog? Like the collar was invisible, bro. I don't think it was. If it was, I take that back slightly, but I don't remember. All I know is they seen the picture show up on what, their explore page of a random dog on a page that has like 0 likes on every like what the f. Anyway, somebody, the hitman finds out about this, right? He finds out about the dog, and it's like he pulls up on her. He's like, hey, yo, listen, I'm her bodyguard or whatever. He doesn't say that, but she infers that he's the bodyguard. And they're like, we gotta, find the person that has the dog. And, that's how they all end up, and her included, they all end up at the house together at the very end after Sansa Stark broke through that little thing. And so stupid. So stupid when she's literally like drowning in the bathroom. She literally, like I said, she pulls the hinges up and she drowns and falls into the door, and like the door just collapses out. Now while this is happening, the hitman is in there with the woman, and he bro, he very cartoonishly gets crushed by the door when it falls. He's literally standing there like what he was trying to do is like sit there and listen at the door to like wait for her to drown. The woman's like, hey, shouldn't we let her out? But like, remember, this dude was like, I want to make it look like an accident. So he's just sitting there waiting for her to drown. And then the door just falls on him. And he just goes, oop, and he just lays sprawled out flat like this with the gun in his hand. And it is the dumbest. It is the dumbest looking thing in the world. I actually chuckled at this part because it looks like a cartoon. Like what do you mean? This main trained hitman just got freaking murdered by a door. He just you just see his hand sticking out. Now he doesn't die here, thank God, I guess. I don't know. I want the movie to be over, but he doesn't die here. He gets up and chases Sansa Stark up into the attic, and she like stabs him a billion times. Like he loses the fight for whatever reason, and he gets stabbed a bunch of times, and he dies. So yeah, that's what that happened. That's how that happens. And the lady just returns the dog. That they somehow the dog led them to the house, by the way. Like they were driving together. Basically how it worked is she was driving with the dog, and she thought the dog needed to go out for a walk and open the door, and the dog just sprinted in a direction when they drove past where the house was, because it was just that smart. It knew, and it brought them in, and the other dude was following them, so he went in also. Like they weren't together to start. They just ended up there together because of course they did, because the movie has the movie. So they're just all gonna show up at the same place at the same time. This is why I script these things, okay? Because I'm just going crazy right now. I'm just going crazy thinking about how messed this movie. Anyway, guy dies. Woman goes away to the vet, does her own thing, and Sansa Stark, she gets out alive, obviously, and we cut to the future. The baby daddy gets arrested. Of course he does, because he sent a hitman. At first I was like, why is he getting arrested? Then I remembered. I genuinely forgot that he was the whole he disappears for so much of the movie. I forgot he was the whole reason that this was happening. So when I seen him getting arrested, I was like, yeah, why are they arresting him? He had consensual sex. And then I'm like, oh, right. He sent somebody to kill her. Duh, that's right. But genuinely, you just forget, because they don't address like any of the plot points in this movie that like at all. It's really frustrating actually to just sit there and watch this boring slog for that long, and they just don't care about their own plot points for extended periods of time. It's actually so annoying. But Sansa ends up sending her pregnancy test on, well, not sending, but she uploads her pregnancy test on Instagram, and she's like, yep, this was true. And then she smiles and she's like, yeah, and she's covered in blood, so it's supposed to look like she's like, I don't know, triumphant but insane when she does this. It doesn't hit the way they think it does. It's actually pretty dumb. But she sends the picture and she's so proud of it, and now she's proud of her baby. Which, by the way, the entire movie, she just randomly starts talking to it. Like in the beginning, she was really upset about having to deal with this baby, and then during the movie, while she's starting to like just lose her mind, I guess, she's just like, it's okay, honey, we're gonna get you out of here. And it feels so disjointed and out of place, because it's like it's so out of nowhere. Like she never addressed this kid in any way that wasn't negative, and then suddenly she's like, I want this thing to make it out of here. If anyone makes it out of here, it's gonna be us. Like, who's us? Who is us? You didn't. It was me, you, that was it. Who's us? I just This movie has no character development that's interesting to watch. The antagonists are all terrible. I forget what happened to the third guy, by the way. After he gets out of that thing, I think I'm pretty sure the hitman shoots him. Like he ends up in the house again with everybody else, and he gets freaking shot. Like he gets shot. So yeah, he dies too, to like, you know, someone that isn't Sansa Stark. So the antagonists all just freaking suck. They're all completely useless. The hitman is brain dead until he gets crushed by a freaking door and then stabbed by somebody who's literally just a regular celebrity. The other woman, she's not even doing that bad acting wise. Like the one that has to get the dog, she's not really that bad of an actress in this movie. She's actually the only fun part about this movie. I like her acting and stuff in this movie, but her character is so freaking dumb that it's like hard to support it in the first place. Like it doesn't matter. So all the characters kind of just suck. The movie's just it just drags because they just don't try to actually make the plot interesting. They keep getting rid of all of their important plot points like this, and like all the antagonists are not direct threats to Sansa. Sansa's brain and psyche doesn't like become something that's deep dived into. It's just something that just gets skipped over, and they just make her seem crazy at random points in time. Every single thing that happens inside of that bathroom is not entertaining at all in terms of watching her escape, between flicking the light and killing the rat and, you know, get drowning or whatever. None of it is interesting to watch because it's just there's no tension or anything like that, and she's just breaking walls for 5 minutes like at a time. It's just this movie was so frustrating to watch. Like I'm gonna make a tier list at the end of the year of all the movies I've watched, but I can kind of say with 100% certainty that this movie was the worst movie I've seen all year. And now you may disagree and think it was great. I don't agree with you. I would rather watch War of the Worlds one more freaking time than have to sit through that freaking movie again, okay? I feel like I've been sounding frustrated the whole video. And it's because it was after I watched a movie that I'm also going to do a review on soon that I didn't like, but I was looking forward to, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and end this video now and tell you that those were all of my problems with everything. If you like this format of me doing videos like this instead of me doing the scripted ones, let me know, and I will keep doing review videos on different things, okay? But I just want to say this right now, bro. I give this movie a solid 1 out of 10, okay? I'm not giving it a 0. Okay, it wasn't completely horrendous like that, I guess. But I'm giving it a 1 out of 10. If you like this video, please leave me a like at the bottom. And if you haven't subbed yet, you know exactly what to do. And with all that being said, fellas, I will catch y'all all in the next review video that's in this format again. Peace out, fellas.